Hi, I'm John Degasperis. I'm a personal injury lawyer in the Hudson Valley. In this video, I'm going to talk about loss of wage claims, how they affect your personal injury case, and whether you're allowed to recover for any loss of wage that you incur as a result of your accident. And remember, if you are injured in an accident while working in New York State, you may need a personal injury lawyer. Give me a call. I'd be glad to help you. Sure, you can go back to work if you're in the middle of a personal injury case, and I often encourage it if you're well enough to do it. It's not a legal question, I tell my clients. It's a question that has to be answered by the individual and whether he or she feels ready to go. And the decision should be made with family and a doctor. But I always tell my clients, these cases have no guarantees associated with them, and there typically is a guarantee that if you work a day, you get paid for the day, right? So you should go back to work if you can. And I always think too that juries will respect you for going back to work if you took a reasonable amount of time off after your accident, you tried to recover and tried to get back to your normal way of life. The jury's going to respect that, and I think the verdict will show that. Yes. Going back to work affects your personal injury case, but not in the way you might think. Sometimes it helps, right? No one expects for an individual to be out of work for the next 30 years because they sprain their ankle. It might make sense to take a week or two off, right? Or maybe a little more, but you're really only supposed to take off a reasonable period of time based on your injury profile. So there might be an expectation that you should go back to work. If you look healthy and well in the trial, the jury's going to say, wait a minute. Why do I have to work, but this person doesn't? Now, if you suffer a catastrophic injury, something life-altering, maybe you won't go back to work, and that's okay in that scenario. But if you don't go back to work and you're looking pretty good, that's going to hurt your case. Sure. So if you're hurt in an accident, the law entitles you to recover damages for a variety of losses. Your bodily injury, your pain and suffering, your lost wages, if you have any, and that's past and future. Past is from the date of accident until the date of your resolution, and into the future if you can prove that you will be out of work into the future. You're also entitled to damages for any medical bills or other reasonable expenses that you incur, again, past and future. So when it comes to your loss of wage, if you missed time from work, we figure out how much time did you miss. We figure out what your weekly wage is, your gross average weekly wage, and we multiply it by the amount of time. Now, if you have a claim for future lost wages, we typically will engage with an economist who will do a much deeper analysis. We'll look at your tax records for the past few years. We'll look at other factors, whether or not you applied for and received Social Security disability insurance. We'll look at the rate of inflation and the interest rates, because all of those things affect a future loss of wage claim. We have to get your statistical work life expectancy. There's also something called personal consumption, right? So if you make $100 a week, as an example, well, you're going to use 15 of that on your daily life. And so those types of things can be offsets, but that's how it works generally. It's not really that hard. If you have a documented work history, someone who has been in the workforce for a long time, and we can prove it, then no, it's not hard to get lost wages in your personal injury case, because you have a documented work history, and in all probability, you would have continued working until retirement age, because most people need to work right up until they're 65 or 70. So, absent the accident, most individuals would have continued with their good work history. So it's not that hard. Now, when you work off the books, that makes things a lot more problematic. When you play funny business with your taxes, that makes things a lot more problematic. And it's sad when that happens, because, it feels good in the moment to make cash. It feels good in the moment to report your business as a loss. But when you have a big accident and you're not going to go back to work, it can be hard to prove that you lost anything when you're telling the IRS every year that all you do in your business is lose money. If you lose something that is a loss, it's not a loss at all. And so that happens a lot, and it's really a sad thing. I think the best documentation would consist of your tax records, your Social Security earnings history. You can go on the Social Security Administration's website, see every quarter that you paid in, your performance registers at your business, right? You can document all your different cases or all your different customers and all the money you make, and that's how we do it.